Hey YouTube, welcome back to UniXTCG, and we are back with another Dragon Ball Super Fusion World video. Now, I let you guys vote for which FB08 deck you wanted me to cover first, and happily enough, you guys chose Gohan as the biggest majority of the vote, which is great because, as you guys may know if you've been a fan of this channel for a while, I'm a Gohan stan. So we are going to hop into Red Gohan, being the kind of new, interesting aggro deck on the block. We're going to dive into it, talk about its cards, talk about its combos, talk about its implications, and where I think it'll land in the meta. So with that out of the way, make sure you like the video if you like this sort of content. Let me know that you still love seeing Fusion World pop up on this channel. Subscribe if you never want to miss a beat when it comes to my Dragon Ball Super Fusion World content. And if you want to go the extra mile, you can always join the membership. It's just 99 cents a month for you, but it is a lot for me. It all adds up and it helps me keep the brand healthy and afloat. And yeah, I would just appreciate it a lot. So let's hop into the breakdown. So first and foremost, we got to talk about the leader. Most of you guys already are familiar with this effect, but he is a normal, just when attacking, draw one card, and then awaken, activate main / battle. If your life is at 4 or less, you can draw a card, then flip this card over. That's very normal. A red leader is generally going to have a gajillion-1 self-awaken effect, so this isn't going to be a problem getting down this low, but it's the awaken side that really kind of brings this into the forefront. And here you have the when attacking, draw one card, and then you have the activate battle your turn once per turn. Switch 2 of your battle cards that include Sun and their card names in your battle area to rest mode. Your card that's in battle gains plus 30k power for the battle. Then if your opponent's at 4 life or more, deal 1 damage to them. This is a very, very important effect that pretty much sets the pace for the entirety of the game. So because it's at 4 or more, once this leader awakens, your opponent doesn't really have a choice to keep on to their life. Like if you're playing like some sort of ramp deck, like traditional androids, Orange Piccolo, and you might want to keep your life up high, this deck will not give you the option to do that, because every time it can put 2 Sun bodies on the board, you're going to be able to turn them sideways and burn your opponent for damage, but also hit them with a 50 or 60k attacker, and that's going to be a huge thing. Every turn you can potentially swing 50k with your leader as long as you have 2 other bodies on the board and just burn your opponent. Now once they get down to 4, this is pretty much the scariest part, because you can put a little combo power on it, have it swing for 60, 70k, and mind you, that's only 2 10ks out of your hand if you're doing it this way. But yeah, just put it up to 70, see if your opponent takes it, because they're automatically getting burned. They get a card to their hand, going down to 3 life, and then they have to still combo out of this 60 to 70k to prevent them from going to 2, because going to 2 is potentially death immediately the moment this deck can untap, and we're now going to go into the why. So the secret rare for this set, Sun Goten, is a 4-cost 25k 5k combo power permanent. If your opponent is at 2 or less life, this card in the battle area gains double strike, and then on play up to 1 battle card with a cost of 3 or less from your hand. It can't attack for the turn. So you guys can already see where this is going. You have the Family Kamehameha that included all of the Sun men. You have Goku, Gohan, and Goten, and this is going to be pretty much where you see the magic happen, because the moment you get your opponent down to 2 life, the goal is to play this card. It'll become a double striker, and then it will say on play, you cheat out the battle card with 3 or less. This can be any battle card, but because of the way this deck works, you're going to be focusing about these Sun cards. So the card in question that you like to cheat out is going to be this Gohan, this SR Gohan, and this is a level 3 25k on play. Add up 1 card from your life to your hand, and then play up to 1 battle card with a cost of 2 or less that includes Sun in its card name from your hand, and that card cannot attack for the turn. Auto, when this card inflicts damage with an attack, draw a card. So this has 2 different purposes, because if you're playing it just raw, if you're just playing it out, yes, if you attack and it deals damage, which at 3 energy, if you play it on curve, 25k is generally going to be 10k above your opponent's unawakened leader, generally forcing them to take that early damage, especially when they're not awakened, So you're going to generally replace yourself. You're going to play this card, you're going to turn it sideways, you're going to get a card from it. And that's going to be nice. It makes this card a priority because it always going to tax your opponent, and if they let it go through for any reason, you just draw a card, which will help further you to your goals and keep a healthy hand. So this is a really, really strong card. Now, the on play, add 1 card from your life to your hand is interesting because it's going to help you self-awaken when you play him out raw. But if you're going to go for game, it's going to help you take a card from your life in order to have higher combo power. So this card is actually very, very, very nasty. Now, then the cheating out the 2 cost or less with Sun in its life, or Sun of its name, is going to bring out a plethora of cards. But the first one we're going to talk about is this Sun Goku. This Sun Goku is a 2 cost, 5k power, 5k combo power card. And it says on play, look at 5 cards from the top of your deck, reveal up to 2 cards with that cost 4 or less that include Sun in their card names, and add them both to your hand. Then place the bottom or the rest to the bottom of your deck in a random order. Then discard 1 card. Activate main once per turn. If your leader is awakened, choose one of your leaders or up to 1 battle card, both including Sun in their card names in your battle area, and it gets 10k power for the turn. So this is the primary combo you want to do. You have these 3 cards. You want to be able to play out the Sun Goten, which is going to free play the Sun Gohan, which is going to free play the Sun Goku. At this time, if you want to, at base, you'll just play out those 3. You can swing with the secret rare. You can activate the effect of your leader to rest both the Gohan as well as the Goku. The secret rare becomes a 55k double strike base, and then you can pile on from there. That's already going to be a very, very, very cool thing. However, because of these on play effects, you have more. Generally, if you're playing out that combo, you play out the secret rare, you play out the Gohan. The Gohan is going to be able to play out the Goku. The Goku is going to look at your top 5 cards, pick 2 cards with Sun in their names and 4 or less cost, add them to your hand, you discard a card, and then the Gohan himself has the ability to just take a card from your life, potentially adding or getting 3 more cards to your hand with combo power. And the cool thing is, because Gohan takes from your life on play and he plays out the 2-drop, if you get a 0, you can search your top 5 for cards with combo power that have Sun in their name and 4 or less cost, and then get rid of the 0 that you picked up with Gohan. So this is really a crazy play that's potentially going to net you 3 additional cards with combo power, even furthering the amount that you have. Now, the activate main on this Goku is going to allow you to boost a further 10k, which means that before you even put combo power on this, if you play the Goten into Gohan into Goku, and then swing with it, activate the main of this Goku to give the Goten plus 10k, and then swing with your leader, that's base 65,000 on the double strike, which is already a sizable number. But you also just potentially added a card from your life to your hand, and you definitely searched your top 5 for 2 cards with Sun in their name. This is pretty much the bread and butter of the deck, and this is the killing stroke. Now, this card can be played earlier in the game just to get your consistency up, because you can play this Goku and you can search Goten and Gohan, and if this card survives, then he's just on the board later to use the activate main, because there's no limit to how many of these you can just do per turn. So if this guy somehow survives as a 5k, which is weird in this format, against red it would never happen. Against other colors, his 2 cost may actually keep him on the board a little longer, but yellow will rest him, swing into him. Blue will probably just have some effect to get rid of him. The only color that's not really getting rid of this guy off the rip, unless their deck is kind of built for it, is probably green. Every other card is pretty accessible to get rid of the Goku. But the next card we're going to go over is going to be the Sun Goten / Trunks Youth. It's another 2 cost, and it has Sun in the name, so it can be played out for free with the Gohan. It's a 20k, and this is permanent. If this card in a battle area is switched to rest mode by your opponent, by your leader skill, it can be treated as 2 copies. And then on play, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand, then choose up to 2 battle cards in your opponent's battle area to get minus 5k power for the battle. So this is cool. It's a self-awakener. It can come out on 2, and it can get rid of cantrips or 1-drops that may have 10k combo power but only have 5k power. This is going to be a very, very, very strong tool in just managing board control. He can also minus 5k from something and then attack into it for a 5k deficit. So overall, this is going to be a strong card. It does have 0 combo power, and that's the scariest part about it, because now at this point we've seen that the secret rare has 5k, the Gohan has 0, the Goku has 5k, the Goten and Trunks have 0. So you're gonna have to kind of figure out how your combo power works in this deck, but still, very good card. Now another card that's another 2 cost with Sun in its name is going to be the Sun Gohan Adolescence. 2 cost, 20k power, 5k combo power. On play, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand, and then auto, when this card inflicts damage with an attack, look at 3 cards from the top of your deck, reveal up to 1 battle card with a cost of 4 or less in sand special traits, and add it to your hand. Place the rest at the bottom of your owner's deck. So this is pretty cool. The restriction of 4 or less is kind of rough because you can't pick up super combos with it, but at the same time, you are going to be able to consistently get damage off and get this. This is once again a tax card. Your opponent always has to discard cards, which to be fair, if they're awakened, they're already doing this. But at 2, as a 2 cost, just being able to play this guy, add a card from your life to your hand, which potentially makes them just a break even, then turn sideways, 20 on an awakened leader, they have to get rid of a card. And if they don't get rid of a card, you're going to just get a card to your hand when it lands and you just search your top 3. Now, the cool thing about this as well is that once you awaken, you're going to be doing 1 to 2 damage a turn, guaranteed. So even if they discard a bunch of cards in their hand to keep their life total high, you're still going to be burning them out, and I think that's going to be the craziest part. But we'll get to more of that later. The next card we have in here is Trunks Youth. This is a 2 cost, but it does not have Sun in its name, so it will not be able to be cheated out. But I just want to mention it here. He's a 5k power, 2 cost, 10k combo power. Activate main. Switch this card in your battle area to rest mode. If your leader has sand and special traits, choose up to 1 battle card with sand and special traits in your battle area. It gains critical for the turn. This potentially is super crazy because I'm not sure how well this will be used. You do have to generally hard cast this. I do believe that Sun Goten can just, Sun Goten can just play this card out from your hand, and then you could give the secret rare double or a crit. But unless your opponent's already about to die, it's not double strike, so there's not really much of a reason to give it crit at that point, because you know, if it's a double striker, then you don't need crit, you just need to kill. So this is a very interesting card, but I think that your opponent already has enough incentive to block your attacks between the drawing of a card, the searching of your top 3, that playing this guy out, it's not going to really help, in my opinion, in most cases. Your opponent was still going to drop that 10k if they didn't want you to get that effect. You have a lot of cards they just don't want connecting regardless, critical or no. But yeah, it's here. It's an option. Now you have this Son Goku here. This is a 2 cost 20k 5k combo power body. Permanent if you have 5 or more rest mode battle cards in your battle area. So this card in the battle area gains 20k power, and then on play, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand. So this is actually pretty neat because this card is going to potentially be a 40k just for swinging. I think this is like when he destroyed Broly. I don't know. This is very strange. I don't know where this is, like, this is kind of out of Saga, but you do have the ability to just 5 or more rest mode battle cards in battle area is kind of wild, but it says permanent, which means the moment this guy turns sideways, he includes himself. The crazy part about this, though, that may actually have people teching 1 or 2, is simply the fact that if you are attacking with him, right? And then, like, just think about it this way. If you're attacking with this guy and your opponent has 1 life, right? Or maybe they don't even have 1 life. Maybe they just have 3 life and you need to get them down to a certain amount. You can play out this guy. You can swing with everything on your board, tap 2 to play this guy, swing with him, like swing with 2 cards on your board. Tap 2, play this guy, attack with him, use your leader effect to tap 2 more, put this guy up to 50k, and then he activates his ability because it's a permanent, and now he's tapped, he's rested, and you have 4 more rested battle cards. Bam, he is automatically going to be a 70k attacker. So this can be particularly dangerous. I'm not sure if this is going to be used as much, but we will see. This is easy damage, sometimes almost near unavoidable damage, and it doesn't really take too much. So we will see if this is usable, but pretty strong, pretty strong. And then the next card we have here is Sun Goten. This is going to be a really, really nice card. It's a 1 cost 5k power, 10k combo power. On play, if your leader's awakened, add up to 1 red non-Sun Goten battle card with a cost of 3 or less that includes Sun and its card name from your drop to your hand. Recycling is great for your self-awakeners, for your searchers, for your all these things. Those Gohans that we showed earlier, the Gohan or the Goten and Trunks, the Goku. There's a lot of things this brings back. Just doesn't touch the secret rare, and that's fine. Then we have this Gohan childhood, and really he's just a Margarita, if you guys remember her. 1 cost, 10k power, 10k combo power. On play, if your leader is awakened, choose up to 1 battle card in your battle area. It gains plus 10k power for the turn. Can choose itself, making it a 20k swing the turn it comes out, and they have to deal with it, or else it's just combo power on the board next turn. This is just really a Margarita replacement that has the Sun name and the Sand/Earthling trait, so it fits in with this deck. That's really all it is. And speaking of replacements, we have a Pansy replacement from, if you guys remember, I was high on that card, but it's a 1 cost, 5k power, 10k combo power. On play, choose one of your leaders or up to 1 battle card, both with the Sand and Earthling in its special traits, and in your battle area it gains 5k power for the turn. So realistically, it's just Pansy. It's literally Pansy. You can give something 5k, you can give something, you can give your leader 5k, but because this deck doesn't really have any dual attackers, I don't value it that much. I liked it a lot better where I had Glorio and I had things that can go sideways twice, because you got the effect twice, but hey, it is what it is. The next card we have here is actually going to be a blocker, and the blocker is going to be a, what's it called? Krillin. I don't know why I stumbled like that. Like, it's going to be a Krillin, and this Krillin is fairly interesting. Blocker, but then he's a 2 cost, 10k power, 10k combo power. Permanent if you have a Son Gohan Adolescence with 20k power or more in your battle area. This card can't be removed from the battle area by your opponent's skills. This is cool because it dodges black effects, it dodges blue effects, it dodges green effects. The only issue is that it's only 10k. That's incredibly easy to remove via minus, and it doesn't stop it from being rested intact. So overall, this kind of feels like it's about to be another useless blocker, because this deck, I feel like, will be popular. There will be a card we talk about a little later that would just mog this card. Yellow still is going to have a control aspect, and I think Yellow just walks all over this card. So I'm not really that happy with it. And also, you do need a Son Gohan Adolescence with 20k power or more in your battle area, and therefore that there is like options where high removal decks like black, blue especially, will be able to probably get rid of the Gohan and then just get this off the board and then just ball. So blocker, like many of them in the game, probably just not that great. I think one of the only good ones is Orange Piccolo, simply because he has such high power to where he can't be minused, and on top of that, he can't be removed for the turn. So, and it's not conditional, it's just for the turn, for the round turn. But yeah. Hey guys, I hope you're still enjoying the video, but I also want to let you know that if you are still watching the video and you are super excited to play these FB08 leaders, you should go over to my sponsor, Hyper Beam Cards. They are the best place to order product for Dragon Ball Super Fusion World. You can still try to put in your pre-orders for FB07. Actually, I mean, at this point, it's like a week out, you know, so you might just be straight up ordering it. But see if they have any stock left, and if they don't, at the very minimum, you can keep an eye out to see when we are going to have our FB09 pre-orders up. These guys, like, you see me do my half box openings, half case break openings for them, and they are just honestly one of the best sponsors I've ever had, and it's just great. So yeah, go over there. Their prices are very, very competitive. They are in pesos on the site, so you'll have to do that translation, but yeah, they are a great site. They have the stock you need, and they are the best place to make sure that you have your pre-orders ready to rock, because they're fast shipping. We'll have these cards out to you as soon as possible, so you can play in all your events, your locals, and whatnot with them. That being said, I do want to let you guys know that if you're still liking this video, make sure you like the video, make YouTube know that you guys enjoy the content on this channel. Subscribe, and as I said before, you can always go in the description, check out the membership. It all adds up, and it helps me out a great deal. The sooner I can go full-time on YouTube again, the more I can just pump out multiple videos a day for you guys, so you never have to go without content. And then past that, if you want to see what I'm up to outside of card games, you can always go to Universe X in the description and check me playing video games and all these other things and nerding out about anime and manga there. Alright, let's hop back into the video. Now back to the breakdown. What we have next is a Piccolo. This Piccolo is a 2 cost 20k. On play, if your leader is both Sand and Earthling and the special traits, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand. Then you can play 1 battle card with the cost of 1 tier from your hand. I think this is neat, but I just don't think there's enough going for the 1-drop game in this deck to run it. And it's another 0k. That's 2 strikes against it, and I don't think it brings enough value to the deck to really go past that. But speaking of cards that have value, though, we do have this Videl, and this Videl is crazy to me. The first time I saw it, I was like, oh, so we're seeing the Searcher power creep to a degree. This is a 1-cost 5k power card, 10k combo power, already exceptional. And then on play, add 1 card from your life to your hand, then look at the top card of your deck, reveal it to 1 battle card with Sand or Earthling and its special traits, add it to your hand, place the rest at the bottom of their deck. As long as your deck is built correctly, this card should not miss, meaning that it's just going to be, if you play it in the first 3 to 4 turns of the game before you're flipped over, you are just going to literally +1. You're going to play this card out, get a card from your life to replace it, get a card from the top of your deck to go +1, and you're going to be picking up gas. This can pick up super combos, this can pick up SERs, this can pick up anything. So I think this card is amazing, and it's just one of the few cards, and it can even pick up itself, so you can't even miss on that front. I think this card is just amazing, and I cannot wait to see what's up. And then next we do have this this extra card. This is Threads of Fate. A little interesting, but the crazy part about this is that it's just a 1-cost. This is activate main. If your leader has Sand in its special traits, look at 4 cards from the top of your deck, reveal to 1 card with Sand in its special traits, add it to your hand, place the rest at the bottom of its owner's deck in a random order. Very interesting. I think this deck, I'm not quite sure. It's got a fair amount of zeros in it already that are mandatory runs, so I'm not sure if we're going to have the space to put in a search card. I think this deck is going to draw just fine between the Searcher Goku, the Videl, the cards that do draw, the leader, of course, swinging every turn. I think this deck is going to have just enough cards already, but if you did want to add some extra consistency, this is an option. Now, the next card I was going to go over is just the Super Combo Trunks. It's neat. It's neat. We've already seen from the altars that we are getting these super combos that are coming, just like set 7, where they're kind of like these cool super altars. I mean, I love my Gohans from Orange Piccolo. I just had to cop those, being the Gohan stan that I am. But I think that this is just pretty cool. You can run this, you can run the Son Goku from last set. Either way, you are still getting your value. You're picking up off the top of your deck with Videls and whatnot. But this deck also, because of the name Sun in the traits, you have a fair amount of synergy that you can kind of get into. For instance, this card, Son Goku Mini DA, a lot of people have had it as one of the de facto self-awakeners for red. It's pretty much all good. Until you awaken, it's one of the best cards in the color. It is a 2-cost, 20k, 10k power, or 10k combo power card, and then you take a life from your hand mandatory, but once you're awakened, this card is at, you know, it's a 30k. So if you end up playing out 2 of them to awaken, bam, you got that out. On top of that, because of what this deck is able to do, if you aren't awakened by turn 4, you can play out Goten to play out Gohan to play out Son Goku Mini DA, and Gohan and this Goku Mini DA will get a card from your life, potentially taking you from 6 to 4 and then awakening you in that turn so that you can go in for a huge amount of swinging potential that turn. You can swing with your leader and your SCR. You can use your leader effect to tap the Gohan and this card, rest the Gohan and this card, and then go off from there. So I think this card is just a shoo-in. Like, there's just no way this card does not fit into the deck, being a 10k 2-cost self-awakener that can punch for 30k once you're awakened, that also has Sun in its name, making it searchable, making it playable by the Gohan. Yeah, no, there's just too much. The fact that you will be able to have turns where, like, if you open up well enough, you're just like, turn 1, play out a Videl or a cantrip, you know? Turn 2, play out a Son Goku Mini DA. Take a card from your life. Turn 3, you can play out Gohan, and then Gohan can cheat in a 2-cost card with Sun in its name, which is literally going to be this Goku. It can't attack for the turn, but you will be able to double self-awaken that turn for 3. So this leader is awakening no matter what you do. Like, your opponent's not gonna be able to stop that. Another card that we can get into is the Son Goku Mini DA promo. This is a 2-cost 20k 5k combo power card. On play, you can add up to 1 card from your life to your hand, and then when attacking, if your leader's awakened, choose up to 1 battle card in the battle area, and it can't be KO'd by your opponent's skills until the opponent's next turn. So depending on the format, this really blocks hard versus green and black. It can do some work against yellow, and it really does have some cool implications, the mirror, as long as the thing is too big to just be minused in the current format. So very, very nice there. And then the last part I wanted to kind of mention when it comes to cards that kind of just work is going to be the Sun Goten Mini DA. Because once again, you've got the Sun, which means you have a cantrip with the Sun tag, which means this card can be picked up with the 2-cost Goku. This card can be pretty much, it goes pretty hard. Now I do think that if I'm not mistaken, the Goten Recycler says non-Sun Goten battle card. It doesn't say a card that includes Sun Goten in its name, which means that Sun Goten Mini should be able to be picked up from it. So you should be able to play that Goten to pick up your cantrip if need be, to play the cantrip to then draw another card, and you've just created 15k combo power and you've drawn a card. So this could be potentially some things too. I do think the Videl and the Sun Goten Mini both work in this deck, and I am very, very, very excited to kind of see how that works. So I think when it comes down to it, this deck is going to be very, very interesting. You're going to have, like I said, it's a red deck, and it's very hard to keep a red deck on Awaken, but because of the Gohan in specific, you will be able to play out Gohan and then for 3, and then play out a 2-cost Goku that should be able to self-awaken. And in this set alone, just by playing out the Sun Goten and Trunks Youth, you'll be able to self-awaken. Just by playing out the other Gohan, the Sun Gohan Adolescence, you'll be able to self-awaken. Just by playing out the Sun Goku Mini DA, the SR or the promo, you'll be able to self-awaken. So no matter what, it just seems like you're going to be able to tap 3 and take 2 life. And if you can awaken consistently, like just with the math on that, if your opponent swings once, if you have a Self-Awakener and Gohan in your hand, chances are, like a 2-cost Self-Awakener and the 3-cost Gohan in your hand, chances are you are taking one of your life. At some point your opponent's swinging on you, whether you go first or second, and then the following turn, when you get to 3, you're playing Gohan, and then you're dropping another Self-Awakener. Bam, you're awakened. From this moment on, you can swing with your leader, you can swing with one of your bodies, and you can use your leader's ability to tap the body, the Son Goku that you cheated in, that can't swing, and one of your other cards to just go up instant high and burn a damage. So you're probably doing anywhere from 2 guaranteed damage, because that early in the game, 50k plus an automatic burn is just almost assuredly taken. So you're doing a minimum of probably 2 damage that early in the game on turn 3. But you could also put up the damage, and you know, going to turn 4, you're starting to get close to putting your opponent in kill range. That's not a lot of time for your opponent to curate a hand. If they don't see enough supers, you could be in huge trouble, or they could be in huge trouble. And then you can start putting out these enormous game pushes later on, especially if you're just accruing cards to hand. So I do think that this deck has something special going on for it. I think that the other thing I like about this leader is that you get to kind of choose how your aggression is. I like variable decks because it's harder to fight against the non-linear deck. This deck is full aggro, I think. I think if you try to build a mid-range, you could maybe do something because the leader is going to be able to carry that a lot more. But I feel like the top end, you start doing the same things over and over again. I think it is more of an aggro, maybe branching into tempo kind of deck. But with that being said, you get to choose how you do that damage. If your opponent has a low hand, you can just go wide and just poke. But if your opponent has a tall hand and you just know that 1 damage a turn, 1 damage a turn, 1 damage a turn and attacks on hand, then you just use your leader effect all those turns and just make sure, burn, tax them, burn, tax them. And if they're not pressuring you well enough, you just build up a big enough hand to then just go, yeah, tap 4 to play out a 3, to play out a 2. Okay, you should be dead now. And you just hit them with the Wrath of Kami. So I think that this deck is actually going to be a really fun red deck. I will be looking for the alt art if I don't pull it from my half case that I'll be getting from my sponsor, Hyper Beam Cards. I love red decks. You guys may not think so because you see me play a bunch of non-aggro decks, but at heart, I'm an aggressive player. I'm an aggro / tempo player. I just tend to gravitate towards mid-range decks because they tend to be safer in the format. But this is a Gohan. He looks to be great, and I'm excited to play him. So let me know what you guys think. I think what I'm going to be doing is doing preliminary deck lists, maybe on the member side. I'm about to go to Nats. Like, I'm actually recording this before I go on my flight to Nats, and then putting that up for you guys. So we'll see what we do. If you guys are going to be at Nats, let me know in the comments too. Hopefully I will meet you there. I should be kind of moseying around the LCQ day, you know, the the Masters National Day, and then I'll definitely be there for Fusion World National. So yeah, just holler at me if you see me, you know what I mean? That being said, thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys. Remember to like the video, subscribe, check out the membership, check out my second channel, Universe X Media, and I will see you in the next video. Later.